Machiliama, I want you. Very soon you go pop champagne and a bad
Remember. Hi, Coach M.
Hello, how are
Good
you?
afternoon.
Afternoon.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, yourself?
I'm good too. I'm happy seeing you.
Happy to see you.
I would want to ask something. Like, I would want you to enlighten me on something.
Okay.
Coach M, I've been driving for a while, and I hear people talk about defensive driving. Defensive driving. What exactly is defensive driving?
Okay, so I mean, it's such a big word, but it has a simple meaning. Being defensive basically means that you are being protective. So, if you want to relate that to driving, it means driving to protect yourself and other road users from harm or danger. The opposite would be being aggressive. So, you realize that when people are driving and they are in a state of aggression, they usually trigger fear, and then it rather makes people panic and also make serious mistakes. So, driving goes beyond the fact that you can move from point A to point B, but then the manner in which you do it matters a lot. So basically, that is defensive driving.
Wow. What are the qualities that will make me or any other person a defensive driver?
Okay, so the qualities rest on a good foundation. Okay, so first of all, the individual should have a good state of mind, should to be able to make good decisions whilst driving. So you need to have that clarity of thought to make good decisions. Let me interject. Driving is a mental activity as much as it is a physical one. So if you're not mentally sound or strong for the activity, trust me, you won't do well even if you have the four good qualities. So at the end of the day, before you start, practicing, you need to be mentally prepared. Fear, negative emotions, and lack of confidence will not help you to become a good driver. Also, PTSD is a real thing. Honestly, I didn't really take it so seriously until one time I was involved in an accident, and I realized that anytime I was on the road and I saw a huge truck, because my accident involved a truck, I sort of I mean, for a moment, I was a bit, hesitant to move and all that. So, if ever you've been involved in a serious accident before, whether you were attempting to drive or you were a passenger, and this thing is still haunting you, the solution is not to force yourself to drive. Try and overcome it. Try and if it's therapy you need, try and get some help and get over it before you get behind the wheel. Because I've trained a lot of people where, I mean, we find ourselves on the road, they are driving very well. Before you realize, they see something, or in the heat of the moment they panic, and it's like they are reliving terrible moments they had on the road, maybe through an accident or something. So basically, that is what I wanted to add. Let me just back out and then enjoy the rest of the video. Thank you. So things that affect or impact your thinking are fear, anxiety, anger. Someone who is going through a lot of emotional issues will not have that clarity of thought to be making good decisions. So first of all, you the individual, you need to have that good state of mind. You get it. The way
Okay,
you're
Coach
standing
M.
there.
So are you saying that when I'm angry or I'm overly excited, I shouldn't drive? Is that what you are saying?
Yes. So if you're in the state of heightened emotions, whether excited, angry, sad, or whatever, at the end of the day, if you are going to drive, it's very important you sit behind the wheel, calm down and relax, psych yourself up before you drive. Because driving in that state of anger or heightened emotions is not good for driving. The way the sun is blazing, I'm feeling sorry for you. So let me just quickly park and then
That's
we
okay. That will be
okay.
fine.
All right.
The main qualities, kindly point on those ones for me. That will make me or any other person a defensive driver.
So, viewers, if you don't remember anything at all, don't forget this acronym, which is COAT, and it stands for Concentration, Observation, Anticipation, and Tolerance. So, upon having a good state of mind and that clarity of thought to drive, at the end of the day, you should always embody these qualities, which is the COAT. Now, for concentration, it has to do with the ability to focus on the task at hand. So, anytime you are driving, you should make sure you don't you observe the road very well and manage distractions as much as possible. because you are always multitasking. You are controlling your vehicle, you are observing other people's vehicles, you are observing pedestrians crossing the road. Um, you're also making decisions while driving. So, in order to make good decisions, you always have to be focused. Okay. I've spoken about the state of mind that is not good for driving. You are tired, you are stressed, you are angry, you are sad, all those things. The external ones that affect your concentration are texting whilst driving, talking on phone whilst driving. All these are crimes and they are punishable by the law. So when you are driving, you try to avoid distractions as much as possible. So the concentration is very important.
Okay.
Aside that, right, as a passenger, when you are driving, make sure you allow your driver to concentrate as much as possible. That is not when to be picking fights with your driver, even if it's your boyfriend or husband. You are arguing and you are trying to, make comments that you know will trigger emotions when they are driving. Okay. So the Gen Z generation, let me advise you, when your boyfriends are driving, please allow them to drive. That is not when to be passing your hand through their hair,
We
a
have
baby, then you
to.
be holding their hand, then things are going to the please allow them. And
Okay.
secondly, on the other side, if the person is annoying you, know that when at that point that he is driving, your life is literally in their hands. So that's not going to be, insulting him and annoying him, even if it's someone you don't even know. Allow them to finish driving. When you get to your destination, then whatever fight you have to pick with him, you go and pick with him. Okay, so basically this focuses on concentration,
Okay.
observation, your ability to, pay attention to the hazards around you and then make good decisions whilst you're approaching. So as you are driving, people will be walking, cyclists will be there, motorists will be there. So you need to be observing their movement and also making sure that you are making good decisions to, as you approach them to prevent accidents. Now, one more thing, when you are driving, another thing that helps you to with your concentration is just making sure all your senses are alert. So sometimes you might not necessarily see a car coming, but you could hear the car coming, or you could even feel the car coming. So if you are in your car, you roll up your glasses, loud music and all that, how will you concentrate? And if someone is, approaching you, how would you even know? So avoid distractions, avoid your phones, focus on the driving anytime you're on the road. Now let's go to anticipation, being able to predict people's behavior before they even act it out. So you are driving, you are following the trotro driver, the taxi driver. You know they are, you know the way they move. They can stop at any point to pick someone or alight them. So at the end of the day, you anticipate such behavior. You're approaching a T junction or any type of intersection. Of course, cars could be coming from different angles. So what do? You anticipate and approach with caution. You're approaching a traffic light which has been green for a long time. You anticipate that, oh, it could change to red at any point in time. You know, jumping a red light and a yellow light is an offense, right?
Yes.
So you see, aha. So you will be able to drive safely if you are always what anticipating. And last but not the least, tolerance. As for this one, you need you need grace and you need a whole lot of it to drive, especially in Accra. The first time I said, if you're able to drive in Accra, you can drive in any part of the world. Some Nigerians were attacking me that I've not driven in Lagos before, so I shouldn't talk. And it's true, I've not driven in Lagos before, so I like to hear from the Nigerians how driving in Lagos is like. So tolerance, being able to accommodate people's flaws and mistakes without necessarily reacting to them. There are people on the road who are like your grandmothers and grandfathers, very old. Of course, you don't expect them to be sharp like the very, very young people. There are also
Yeah.
inexperienced people on the road. There are people like yourself. So always leave room for error. You see, always
Okay.
leave room for error. People are going to make mistakes. Some are going to be deliberate. Some are also not going to be too deliberate. Not everyone knows the right thing like yourself. So always leave room for error. There are people who are going to turn without signaling. There are people who are going to park without alerting you. There are people who don't know the right of way rules and will make a mistake when they are negotiating an intersection. So
Okay.
having this at the back of your mind, always leave room for error. So when people make mistakes, it doesn't really affect your emotions too much, and you are still able to maintain your concentration whilst you are driving. So basically, that is that. The quotes in
Wow.
summary:
This is
concentration, observation,
okay.
anticipation,
And
and
tolerance.
tolerance.
Wow, this is so educative and enlightening. As drivers, we should make sure that we drive defensively and not aggressively. And we should also remember the acronym COAT, which is concentration, observation, anticipation, and then
Hey,
tolerance.
you're a sharp
Thank
girl.
you so much, Coach M. See you some other time.
All right,
Bye.
bye.